Hello there. Got some good news. Today I received the index for my book. I have to go over that, make sure everything's spelled right and that sort of thing, and then I get to send it back. And then I think it's just a matter of time. I just have to wait until they make the book, I think. But we'll find out. Anyway, we're one step closer to being there. So for today, I want to read you a little bit from chapter 2. But I'll start, like I did the last time, with the summary of chapter 2 that you find in my introduction. And here it goes. It's not too long. In chapter 2, the histories of Sauron and Gollum and Frodo's reaction to them reveal more clearly the deceit at the heart of the ring's power. But the pity Bilbo showed Gollum also reveals a path to resist that power. The portrayal of Gollum underlines the difficulties of pity, especially for one like Frodo, who has only stories to go by, even as Gandalf situates pity and Gollum in confrontation with Frodo's denial that he and Bilbo could be anything like Gollum. So now I'm going to turn to the beginning of chapter 2, the first, which is called Bilbo's Pity in the Ring, and the first section of that is called The Unchanging Mr. Baggins. This is a little bit longer than the summary. Just as the first 2 chapters of The Lord of the Rings both invoke the memory of riddles in the dark, each also starts with an emphasis on time. In a long-expected party, the passage of the years without apparent effect on Bilbo hints at trouble to come, which the party festivities allay, but only in public. Privately, it is clear, as Gandalf says to Bilbo even before their conversation grows ugly, that he has, quote, had the ring quite long enough, unquote. And Bilbo concedes, before discovering the ring in his pocket, it's time that Frodo was his own master now, a part of which includes leaving him the ring with everything else. Even the title of the first chapter invites us to think of time. Long expected by whom? Certainly not by the hobbits who learn of the party just a few short weeks before it takes place. We must refer to Bilbo, just as an unexpected party, the first chapter of The Hobbit does. This question leads to the next. How long had Bilbo been expecting it? The text offers 2 clues, both related to the ring, one directly, the other indirectly. 12 years earlier, when he was 99, Bilbo had become indignantly aware of how well-preserved other hobbits said he was. The gossipy notice taken of his age may not be unconnected to his adoption of Frodo that same year, thus making him his heir, a point the chapter revisits several times. Is this how long he's been waiting for this party, so he can leave and find the rest he says he needs, and write the happy ending he has thought of for his book? To be sure, Bilbo avers his mind was long since made up to go, but he also later concedes that he has actually been unable to do so. In conjunction with Frodo's adoption, with the remarks of his fellow hobbits, with the joint birthday party he throws for himself and Frodo every year, this indecision suggests that Bilbo has wanted to have this party for a very long time. It is the end of a long process. Significantly connected with Bilbo's desire for rest and preliminary to it, to judge by his phrasing, is another desire. I want to see mountains again, Gandalf. Mountains. And then find somewhere where I can rest. I might find somewhere where I can finish my book. I have thought of a nice ending for it. And he lived happily ever after to the end of his days. The emphasis in these sentences is original, and so it represents the character's idea of the importance of these 3 elements, the second and third of which we have already noted. The first, moreover, he repeats and expands on a moment later, qualifying his desire with before I die. Thus, the pressure of time is relevant here too, as Bilbo seems to be seeking to recover a vision of the world he has lost because of the ring, which has increasingly become the subject of his the object of his attention and anxiety, even as it feels, quote, like an eye looking at me, unquote. And he is left wishing he could just put it on and disappear. Two opposite progressions are at work here, and not for the last time. The pull of the ring commands Bilbo's focus more and more as time goes on, denying him rest and occluding his sight of other things. By contrast, seeing the mountains once more before death seems to promise to lead to rest and happiness until death. As Bilbo's words suggest, the ring has denied him the fairy tale ending he longs for, and his one hope of attaining it is to renew his vision of the world. But first, he must renounce the ring. It is noteworthy that Bilbo's notion of what he needs so resembles the elements of escape, recovery, and consolation that Tolkien was enumerating at just this time in another text he was writing, his essay on fairy stories. More revealing for our immediate purposes, however, is that not only does possession of the ring deny the ring-bearer a fairy tale ending, it also threatens to strip away the gentler aspects of his humanity. We have seen how quickly kindness can lead to anger, paranoia. Let me rephrase that. I can't talk today. We have seen how quickly kindness can yield to anger, paranoia, and violence. Here we see a restlessness and unhappiness, and a loss of the power and meaning of home, which was so essential to the Bilbo of The Hobbit, even as he grew and changed. The homecoming for which he longed has been cheated of its final significance. With the ring, there will be no happily ever after, and Bilbo's days shall prove interminably long. Without it, however, he is free to begin moving toward both. Thanks, that's about it for now. See you soon again. Take care.